colorful today. From the shoes, the headgear. Plenty colors.
Take up and it's good to many colors.
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
I love the earrings, though.
Thank you. Like I said, everything.
Yeah. What's going on?
Oh, nothing. I can't even remember any gist that I have. You know, sometimes I'll have gists before, then by the time we get on the show.
We understand. 60 is not an easy age.
It happens to everybody.
Yeah, 60 is
our band.
Are you traveling soon in time? Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah, still hanging out.
My grandkids are coming next month, yeah.
Okay.
They come in here often. I mean, these are Nigerian children.
Yes, my daughter wants them to know home.
Yeah,
she too wants to be close to home.
That's fantastic.
So
it's so good to know that they are.
And because she can work online, she can come
anywhere
and work.
Yeah, so fantastic.
Such flexibility from.
How you doing?
So, advantages of COVID, I guess.
Yeah.
How are you doing? How was Mom's birthday yesterday?
Oh, Mom said she was coming, I did not show, but today is another special day.
Yeah, back to back.
It's a back-to-back celebration this month, you know, in all spheres of life. 10 years ago, I became a mother of 2 amazing boys.
Yeah.
So today the twins clocked 10, and this morning I was just thinking, man, so I know the old, you know, like I have a 10-year-old child, which means like
you have 10-year-old children.
I have 10-year-old children. Yeah, they're twins. So, and I just remember, you know, how transient the pain of delivery is, and how long this journey of motherhood is. And I'm feeling very, very like I should be celebrating my children, but I'm celebrating myself.
Yes.
It's 10 years of being a mother. I had no idea the sacrifices, the tears, and I know it's still a long journey to come, and I pray that I would see my children fulfill God's destiny for their life, and they would make God proud, make me proud, and fulfill, you know.
Beautiful. So your children, your mom's birthday first, and then your kids.
Yes, my mom really wanted me to give birth. I said, like, I've shared this story several times. You know, she was praying that I should give birth, not just give birth, but give birth on her birthday. I was in labor on her birthday, and she was so sure that the children would come on that day, but they did it. They waited 2 days.
Wow.
Interestingly, my daughter and her grandmom shared the same birthday. And then my son and my own grandmother. My grandmother, he was born on the 3rd anniversary of her death. So it's their birthdays are very significant in my house, yes.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, I'm happy. We got lights for a very long time yesterday, throughout the night. See, I will celebrate every time we have lights, because I know how I suffer.
It's Christmas, so when you have lights, it's Christmas. So.
Yes, it's Christmas, so that's what I'm celebrating. And I hope that this continues. Gets better.
Yeah, I don't have lights.
Oh, you don't?
You still don't have lights since that time? You are out the grid. You're not inside the equation.
But it comes...
like our collective head.
No. It comes in for about a few hours, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours max, and goes off again. But, you know, that's it. It's just terrible, you know? My kids are just complaining, like, Mommy, when are we leaving this house? I said, take it easy. The developer has not finished. You know, but they were supposed to finish. This first is till December. Then it was March. Now they say we should give them on that month. So the kids are like so impatient, like, can't we just leave this house?
And I know the way children are. Once they
know, that's the problem.
That is on your case.
Oh my Lord. I mean, when are we going? Is it this weekend? Like,
when does your rent expire?
It expired on 31st.
Oh, wow.
So we're already of March, yes. So we're already overdue.
Soon be harassing you.
10 years. He's a fantastic landlord. I have one of the best landlords ever. I mean, I really wish I could just stay there, because he's such a good man. He's a fantastic man. He maintains the house. He's a good man.
So are you bringing somebody to replace you?
I don't know. I keep the place. I don't know. I'm still thinking of just, having that place as an office or something. I don't know. We might just... He's just a good landlord. I wish I could be a good landlord like that.
You will be.
The plumbing, he handles it, the floors, he's always maintenance, it's fantastic.
You guys were good.
We're good tenants.
Paid your rent on time.
Oh, absolutely.
So he was able to do his part.
Oh, absolutely. Let's go to a break. When we come back, we go through the front pages of the papers. You know, today's Thursday is just in all the way. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, we're going to start with The Nation. Zoning, Ohaneze lashes PDP as Fayose faults consensus. Picture of the scene of a fallen huge billboard at Kudrat Abiola Way in Keja yesterday after the rainfall. CBN finds 4 banks over crypto transactions. Dangote Adenuga Rabi remain on Forbes rich list. Terrorists threaten to kill attacked train hostages. And FG lifts more COVID-19 restrictions. Okay.
So we know the CBN has clamped down on crypto transactions. It made the news months back, and they froze a lot of people, a lot of companies who were dealing in cryptocurrencies had their accounts frozen. Now, 4 banks, despite the regulation, had allowed some transactions, crypto-related, go through. And we always say that corruption thrives when everybody isn't doing their part. So CBN, in curtailing this, has fined those 4 banks 114 million in total. Wow. One of the banks 200 million, another bank 300 million. And all of this was done because one bank did not allow an account that had been flagged for cryptocurrency to continue its transaction, and they allowed transactions between crypto-related transactions take place. And so these banks have now been flagged. I don't know if the banks can negotiate the fine, but I think if the banks pay the fine, they would be more strict with implementing the rules, cutting across all corruption. No corruption can take place without the involvement of banks, because these transactions should be flagged in the first place. So I'm happy that the CBN is doing something to...
So I wanted to take the terrorists that threatened to kill the train hostages.
Okay, go ahead.
Are you going to take it?
No.
Are you sure?
Go ahead.
Go ahead,
YK.
Because I didn't read.
Okay, go ahead, YK.
Okay. So 4 suspected terrorists, they did a video yesterday, and they claim, they said they're going to kill the hostages if their demands are not met. They didn't tell us what their demands are, but they said that the federal government know what they are demanding. So if they don't answer them, they'll kill the terrorists. They released the managing director.
Bank of Agriculture.
Yes, and they said because he's old and he has been begging them that they've released him, and he too is begging that the government should, that there are many, many, many hostages, so please release them.
Okay, you have a story. I was going to take the major headlines. So I've been following up with this story with PDP. And obviously, we said yesterday at the papers when they said that Governor Autumn had, who chaired the 37-man committee, had said that they were not going for consensus or zoning, they were going to throw open. But he has come forward to say he never said that. He never said that to any reporter. That right now,
body language.
Yes, they were reading his body language. However, Ohane Zindigbo has obviously, they came against the possibility that this might become consensus. They say that it's a political blunder and a betrayal, given that Ndigbo has suffered most recently for supporting the PDP. Also, another contender, former governor of Ekiti State, Fayose, said that, I saw those going around for consensus. Who will step down for who? You asked me to step down. Consensus is undemocratic. So according to him, when it was the last election, they all of them from the south stepped down when they zoned it to the north. That it's time for them to also step down and zone to the south, because they're not going to step down for anybody, and they don't want a consensus. They want it to be zoned south. And so, listen.
He also said that the PDP, the people that want you to step down for them are the people who left the party and allowed the party to lose the elections last time, and he named Atiku and Saraki especially, saying they are because of the loss of their election. And
they said that they can't even win. They can't even win from their own individual.
Yes.
in Kwara State, they couldn't win. In their state.
Atiku won by 20,000 votes in Adamawa State.
Moving on quickly now to the Punch. So we talked about zoning already. Let's move on. Pensioners threaten showdown with Fayemi. Abiodun Southeast Governor's retiree slumps. Lagos father smashes baby's skull. Burns house, blames evil spirits. Suspected smugglers kill Ogun customs officer, dump body in pit. COVID-19 test, state protests Ghana's maltreatment of Nigerians. Lassa fever spreads as COVID-19 cases drop FG list restrictions. Okay, which story are we taking? And one more thing. SIM NIN, deactivated subscribers want 3-month extension, enrollment centers congested. Okay,
the picture story, the Nigerian Union of Pensioners, the Southeast Zone, had a meeting and released a communique, and they say that for those of them in the southeast, their governors from that zone have a bad reputation for not paying pensions and gratuities. They said for a lot of them, their payments and gratuities are done in arrears. Some have not been paid their gratuity in 10 to 15 years, and their pensions are paid in arrears of 6 to 3 months. And, you know, they're just complaining that this is not in the Constitution. These people deserve their money and they should be paid. They're different. The particular picture that we're looking at is of a man, of a pensioner, who at a protest slumped, but thankfully was quickly taken away by his family. He said he was a 90-year-old man just protesting the fact that pensions are not paid. And he said a lot of them, as usual, we know the stories of a lot of them passing on because the monies that they would have used to take care of themselves, go to the hospital, they don't get that. They also say that as far as they're concerned, EFCC is conniving with these governors who steal their monies in billions, monies that is meant for pension payments in billions, and get away with it. So really, when it comes to pensioners, we have to put our hands together and solve this issue. This is a sad picture that we have to see every time, yes.
Very sad picture. I saw it. So I wanted to talk about the man who smashed his baby's head. Apparently, he was just sitting in the sitting room with his 17-year-old wife, got up and just smashed the baby's
Oh, my Lord.
And then he set the house on fire and then ran. And she alerted people, and they came and put the fire out. They saw the baby. They found him somewhere hiding. And he says the evil spirits. He's locked up at the moment. Very, very, very sad.
That's some kind of mental disorder.
Yeah,
it's definitely a mental disorder. Definitely a mental disorder.
You have the story of the smugglers? Or which
I have the story of the Presidential Steering Committee speaking to the Senate. And in that conversation, they are decrying the treatment of Nigerians in Ghana. So from the Ghanaian perspective, it's that a lot of Nigerians come into Ghana with COVID test results saying they are negative. But when tested in Ghana, they are positive. So because of that, there's been this harsh treatment towards all Nigerians traveling into Ghana. To the tune of 70,000 naira per day is paid to isolate for 2 weeks, running into millions of naira. If you visit Ghana, you are isolating. This is West Africa to West Africa. And the conversation was now Ministry of Health and Ministry of Foreign Affairs should speak to Ghana. Our bilateral relationships we shouldn't be treated like this. However, the fact still remains, Nigerians go there with fake COVID test. I traveled several times. I've done COVID test several times, and it's negative, and I always do my COVID test. Why would people not do the test appropriately? Do the test now.
Okay, we have to wrap up on this, but let me take the deactivated subscribers. So a group, the umbrella group says, I think it's the National Association of Telecom Subscribers, have asked and pleaded with the federal government to kindly extend the NIN SIM policy deadline for another additional 3 months. And this is because all the major telecom centers are very congested right now because of the deadline that was passed on the 31st, I believe. So right now, people can't actually connect their NIN to their SIMs, and they're asking for an extension because now the people know, Nigerians know, they can't call out anymore. Their lines were blocked. So you made your point. We've gotten
the system cannot even carry the burden.
So please, exactly. So please give us 3 months extra.
My fear is that if they extend it again, they will become lax, and they will not, because we had time when there was a deadline before. Everybody was rushing. When the government extended, everybody just relaxed instead of using that time to go and.
So let's start talk to ourselves. That now, if they extend it, please go and get your SIMs linked. Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue with the review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup
check.
Are the scripts on the prompter? Script
check.
Are we set in the VCR? All team in place? VCR
check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights on. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
Is the makeup in progress?
A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
kádàrá aláwọ̀ àkàkàjù. àwọn kan wà tí wọ́n bá kú tọ́jọ́ kú wọn ò tí ì pé wọ́n á papòdà síbòmíì.
Is that how you gonna say it?
Kọ́jú wa sọ nìyẹn.
Bó ṣe wá kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ yìí pé òun fẹ́ rí mi kájọ fojúkojú yìí kò yé èmi o.
Bó ṣe pé ẹ̀rí ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ àyà mi sì sọ kí.
Torí kí ni?
Àkọ́yẹ́ kọ́ mọ pé jẹ́rẹ̀ ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ yọmọ mú yẹn rí flashback jọ́ ẹ̀ kí ọmọ tó mọ ẹgbọ́n mọ́.
Thanks for staying with us. Moving on now to Daily Sun. Funny story. Kachuku joins ADC presidential race, dismisses zoning clamor. Soludo constitutes Truth Peace Committee. Buhari signs Executive Order 11 on public buildings maintenance. Kaduna military base attack, number of soldiers killed rises. 3 killed, others abducted as bandits attack Taraba. UK tasks federal government on incessant conflicts. FG counters Obasanjo on insecurity, blames PDP for worsening economy. Okay, which story?
Before you take that story, I just wanted to talk about, it wasn't on the front page, but I thought we should just mention it, that Lagos State has locked the hospital, Medville, that we talked about on Tuesday. Apparently, when they did their preliminary investigations, they noticed that the hospital wasn't registered and it was operating illegally.
Wow. That's the woman who died. Her husband came from Anambra State. Really sad.
Very sad.
Really okay.
So Kaduna military base, we took the story yesterday. Remember the sad story of the attack on Monday night. Sadly, they said the number of deaths has risen from 12 to 17 as 5 more soldiers who were injured have passed on. There's also a video which was obtained, they say, by PR Nigeria from the military intelligence, which showed that even though these bandits came in their large number, that there was a quick response or intervention by the Nigerian Air Force fighter jets, and a lot of the bandits were repelled because of them, or the casualties would have been worse than what we have right now.
All right, so Governor Soludo has constituted a Truth Peace Committee, and that's following the sit-at-home order that was cancelled, if you recall. This sit-at-home order was given by IPOB when Nnamdi Kanu was incarcerated. Excuse me. Then IPOB came out to say it's been cancelled so that the people in that zone can go about their daily business. But some people masquerading as unknown gunmen, they're trying to enforce this sit-at-home order. And since that, have been causing havoc across that region. So Governor Soludo has been able to constitute this committee that includes Professor Chidi Odinkalu, Mrs. Bianca Ojukwu, Charlie Boy, quite a number of others, prominent members, prominent people within that region are members of this committee, and their agenda is to identify the stakeholders and groups who have played critical roles in these agitations. What are their grouses? What are their demands? What role are they playing? And how can we therefore chart a roadmap for reconciliation? So that's the task, and we're really wishing them the best, because that's the first step to consult with those who have been agitating and making things difficult for others.
I think what he's done, he's picked up, people who are popular and who they will listen to. Onye is one of them, you know.
Yes.
So
that's fantastic. Okay, let's move on quickly to
take the story of the president I sent into
your best friend is also
the executive.
Who's my best friend?
Bianca.
Oh, please, Michael, let's get serious.
Slap everybody into order.
Our presidents assented to an executive order, and the reason I'm taking this story is because what the executive order is supposed to do is to create, is to maintain buildings, public building maintenance.
Understanding an executive order.
That's exactly what I'm trying to understand. And many of the buildings they need a facelift, so now they're going to be, every ministry and agency needs to quickly create, and I'm wondering, a budget, because obviously when they say facelift is that they'll create a budget that's now, executive order will mean every budget for the buildings should look good. A lot of money goes into building infrastructure in Nigeria, and if we maintain by preventing damage, if we are careful with the handling of those things, it will save us a lot more money in trying to do facelift.
I mean, if you recall, what TVC used to look like before, when we had the new management, they came in and they started planting flowers. I was like, what are they planting flowers for? And all this thing. But we have seen that over time, sustainers of that have actually made the place look beautiful. And when you come in, you feel like, oh, I'm coming to an office. So yes, you might have to make that cost initially, but the maintenance of it is also very critical.
You know, priority, this is not the most important executive order.
Okay, Vanguard, very quickly. It's all part of it. PDP's open ticket presidential contest triggers uproar. NURTW sacks MC Oluomo, dissolves the Lagos Council. Nigerian-born student dies after eating cannabis sweet in UK.
Oh my God.
Ekiti 2022, unknown gunmen attack Oni's convoy in Efon-Alaye. Shaun, RCCG Pastor Gandhi Olaoye eligible to become next Oba, says the Laoye family house. FG approves 12 new private varsities. Jonathan loses 2 security aides in auto crash. Okay, which story are we starting with?
So there's a young girl, aged 23. Her name was Damilola Grace Olakomi, an undergraduate, business law undergraduate student at the University of Hertfordshire in the United Kingdom. She and her friend, a 21-year-old, had ordered this sweet gummy bears. With cannabis in it, and they consumed it, and immediately after they were terribly sick. They were quickly rushed to the hospital, where the other friend, the 21-year-old, was released, got better, but she suffered and she passed on eventually. They said her mother was beside her. They mentioned that she was her mother's only child as well.
Gosh.
So really sad story.
And
please, I need to just beg all up. You know, a lot of parents send their children to study abroad. This one, the mother was even there. We need to just keep pulling the ears of our children, monitoring as much as possible remotely, because children will want to experiment. These stories will help them understand what boundaries not to cross.
I think the most important part of this story is things that you have to eat.
You need to be careful.
Don't buy it online. You don't even know where they are. You don't know their addresses.
But they knew what this was.
No. These things are sold abroad. So they have gummy bears with these things. But probably these particular ones had something wrong with them.
And you will not have an address to go and catch themselves.
Okay, we have to move on quickly. So another story in Vanguard. The RCCG Pastor Gandhi, the family. So one of the people from the Mogali family said that Olawale Olaoye was saying that Pastor Gandhi is eligible. He's not a bastard. He's not brought from outside. He's a true son of Kakbe. I want Ogbomosho to be calm and reassured. If you recall, there's still an ongoing tussle between families, saying that there are other people who are also qualified to be the Shohun of Ogbomosho, and this back and forth. But they're saying that the elders are still talking, and that Pastor Gandhi himself is also very qualified, and they've assured members of Ogbomosho that this will be resolved as soon as the chairman of the screening committee informs of what the decision of the committee is. I was going to talk about the NURTW, but is there any other story we've not taken that's interesting there? Okay, let's move on quickly now to the Nigerian Tribune. INEC estimates 90 million voters. NDLEA arrests drug cartel queen in Taraba. NURTW sacks MC Olomo, dissolves Lagos State Council. COVID-19 FG lifts midnight curfew, large gathering restrictions on others. Soludo appoints Odinkalu, Bianca, and others to negotiate with IPOB. Again, FG promises victory against bandits. Judiciary must remain independent, says Afe Babalola. And Sarakilia Reconciliation Committee submits reports warns PDP against bias in conduct of the primaries. Okay.
So the NDLEA have arrested a person who they describe as a notorious queen of drug cartel. Her name is Lami Mae. Her surname has been withheld. I don't know why she would withhold her surname, because the others, we hear of their names, surnames, the villages they come from, and everything. Anyway, she's a 40-year-old, and she's into supply of psychoactive substances to different traffickers in Taraba State. They said that they had been, she had been on their wanted list for a long time. They started searching for her since 2021, and finally they found her in one of the villages in Taraba State. They talked about a certain person who had been arrested. Some of the suppliers and the traffickers had been arrested, and her name would come up. And they said there was this particular person who, after being arrested and served jail term, went back to his business with her continuing to be his supplier. Anyway, she's only 40. She's been caught, and hopefully it would mean, this is what I would say a, win for the war against drugs.
So the government, presidential committee, the presidential steering committee have lifted the curfew, the 12 to 4 a.m. curfew. They say since the COVID cases have dropped, we can. But people with comorbidity, people with should still wear masks and stay away from crowded places, and we should all still be alert and wear our masks. But it's not mandatory.
We didn't.
I didn't know there was still restriction.
So we are all shocked.
Okay, we have to run.
Reading this, we are shocked. We must talk about our shock.
We have to run.
We didn't know that
they had a convention.
Okay, yeah, 60. It might be. Let's go in a bit. That's all we can take.
Everybody was wearing masks. And he went through the night.
Okay. That's all we can take of your review. That's what you wanted to see. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
Come closer. A little excited for your favorite breakfast show, Your View. We'll be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
How we're doing, guys, is the main script set in the VCR.
Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights up. Plans all set, 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The the ladies of YourView and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
kádàrá aláwọ̀ àkàkàjù. àwọn kan wà tí wọ́n bá kú tọ́jọ́ ọkú wọn ò tí ì pé wọ́n á papòdà síbòmíì.
Is that how you're gonna say it?
ọkọ tí wàá sọ yìí.
ó ṣe wá kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ yìí pé òun fẹ́ rí mi kájọ fojúkojú yìí kò yé èmi o.
bó ṣe pé ẹ̀rí ẹ̀mí lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ àyà mi ti sọ kí.
torí kí ni.
àkọ́yẹ́ kọ́ mọ bí jẹ́rẹ̀.
Thanks for staying with us. So join us now to discuss all we need to know about surrogacy, egg donor, and the intricacies involved in surrogacy. This is a fertility expert and director, MedBurn Agency, Abiola Adewusi. Welcome to the show, madam.
Thanks for having me.
Surrogacy is I wouldn't call it a new phenomenon. It's actually growing in Nigeria. Now, many more people are looking for surrogates to help them carry their baby. But there's still this very gray area that hasn't been really properly plain for people to understand, because there's a lot of confusion. You know, who owns the child, whose egg is it? There was a recent story we had about a young lady who had promised, both her and her auntie, she promised to actually carry her auntie's baby. There's no written document, you know, and then now she had the baby, but her auntie did not deliver on her own promise to her. So she refused to release the babies. And now the auntie is doing so much, trying to use Interpol, different things, just to get this girl. The point is, what could she have done to prevent this? And what do we do? Who seeks surrogacy? Surrogate mothers, what do we do to ensure that we get our babies at the end of the day?
Okay, thank you very much. And I'm happy to be here this morning. And so surrogacy is multifaceted. First of all, you have to actually require the process of surrogacy for you to go that route. So it's not an option for you to just say, oh, I don't want to be pregnant and I want a surrogate to carry for me. So you would have gone through the medical procedure to determine that you cannot actually carry due to medical reasons, or multiple IVF failures that is to the tune of maybe 5, 6 or more. And that's the time that the doctor would actually determine that you require surrogacy, for starters. And at the time you actually require to get a surrogate to carry the baby for you, the doctor is supposed to counsel the patient on the process, okay? And in that case, the surrogate that is going to be engaged, usually in Nigeria for now, although we practice it all over the world, and surrogacy has gone to biblical days, you want to be sure that you're not doing a traditional surrogacy. Okay. Traditional surrogacy means that the surrogate is the owner of the eggs. That's the traditional surrogacy, okay, that dates back to biblical days. You want to be sure that you're doing a gestational surrogacy. That means you're going to go through the IVF process. Okay. They're going to get the patient's eggs, fertilize it with the husband's sperm, and then put it into the surrogate. Right. Okay, so that's third party. Okay, so the couple's there generating the embryo and having someone carry it for them. Okay, so
I like the distinction, which is great. It makes life easier for us. So we'll come back to the gestational one, but the traditional one, how do I protect if it...
No, but it doesn't always it doesn't always work that way, because I've had a case where someone's egg prematurely wasn't good, as that, like, she was 38 and she didn't have viable eggs anymore. So for her to do surrogacy, she had to get donor eggs.
Okay, so that's another scenario. Okay, so I'm the patient, but I'm too old to generate my own eggs.
Right.
I can seek for donor egg, which will be totally separate from
You're
the
saying you
surrogate.
must ensure that it's different from the surrogacy so that there's no attachment.
Distinctly separate.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I get
So
it.
the story that Mariel highlighted, obviously there was a problem from the very beginning because
Correct.
in that story, at first she wasn't aware she had to use her eggs, but eventually used her eggs. So that, in that case, you would say that she is the legitimate mother of that child, even though there was supposed to be an agreement that the child would end up with the...
Absolutely. Everything started wrongly with this particular scenario. If you're using a surrogate that owns the egg, she's the mother.
Right.
She's the mother. I mean, how can you slice it? She has a DNA, she has everything. But if it's totally different, then you can actually argue that.
All right, so let's talk about the safety of this process. A lot of people who they see this as a revenue opportunity. Okay, I'm very good at pregnancy. I can, get a few millions if I do this. How easy is it to go? Is it like a surgery? You have to be inserted. What exactly is the process to become a surrogate, to volunteer to be a surrogate?
Okay, there are lots of processes involved in being a surrogate. So the fact that you've delivered children in the past does not automatically qualify you to be a surrogate. You have to have the right mental state of mind to be a surrogate. So there are processes involved. You have to be healthy. I mean, because you could have delivered 2 or 3 children and not be healthy, maybe with high blood pressure and things like that.
Sure.
You want to be able to protect the health of the surrogate as well, in as much as you're trying to satisfy the patient's need. So as the doctor, you have to be able to identify the surrogate, make sure that they're healthy, make sure that they're in the right state of mind, make sure that they go through counseling, make sure they have the legal discussions that goes with it as well. Everything. And this process, this screening process is very rigorous. So if you're not patient, you're just, coming, want to, pop in and pop out, no, it's not for you. You have to be patient to go through the process, the screening process that takes you through as a surrogate.
Okay.
So okay.
I was just going to ask for the mother, the surrogate mother, how does she detach herself from the child? Because she's the one that has carried the child for 9 months, and she's going to have milk and all the things that go with having a baby. How does she detach herself?
Okay, that's a very good question. And that is one of the downsides of being a surrogate. And these are the things that you discuss with the surrogate upfront. You have to. Okay, so this is highly emotional. You're going to carry the pregnancy, and at the end of the pregnancy, when the baby comes out, you may hear the baby's cry, but you will not see the baby because the baby belongs to someone else. These are the things that you will discuss and make sure that they're comfortable with it before they actually start the process, because it is an emotional journey.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
you see the baby?
You won't see the baby, but do the surrogates, do they really understand? Because I hear that some of them change their minds at the last minute. So
some do.
Okay, so maybe she was not expecting to have a CS, but now she has to have one. If that happens, what happens for her? Does the arrangement and the payments change? Yeah, does that change?
Okay, so I'm going to state categorically that if you're putting a surrogate through a process and you do not specifically identify what can possibly come to play, then you're not doing a good job.
So she should be prepared that there's a possibility that there'll be a CS.
There's a possibility. There's always a 50-50 probability. I mean, it can happen to anybody. The baby might be in a bad lie and it will be dangerous for you to push. So what do? You have to bring baby out.
Let's come to culture. Culture, acceptability of this process. People think, oh, it's not my child, or your mother-in-law is like, how can you get to come and carry me? What is that? There's a lot of family, religious pressure. So as a woman, you're thinking, I'll just have to wait till God gives me my child. I don't want to tell a friend or somebody to carry this child for me.
Okay, very good. I know our culture is very peculiar, but I'll say we've come of age. think? 10 years ago, oh yes. So I think I've been in this Nigerian space for about 15, going to 16 years now. When I came back, nobody talks about it. It's unheard of. I mean, it's almost like you have to do hush-hush. And then, of course, the patient will have to do the bump and all that, acting and all that. But now, as years roll by, I can tell you for free that it's changed totally. Totally.
Did you say totally? I wouldn't say totally.
You know why? I know why.
It's improved.
You know why?
Yeah.
Because most of the patients that seek surrogacy talk about it. They come out and talk about it, and they tell their family members that this is what I'm doing.
What I think, but my thing is that there is a group of people in the AB class, exposed, travel, come back, those kind of people in that circle.
Very small.
There's a huge population of Nigerians.
So maybe that's the category.
That's a little bubble. That's just But there's a huge population of Nigerians who this can help. But they're not open to this option because they don't understand it. So that's where that question is coming.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about what she just explained because I know a few people. I volunteer for an NGO that takes care of Quiver 4 Ministries. They help people through this process, and we've heard many that when they consider this option, when they share their testimony in church, they don't mention the process they used to get their babies, and that is still. Because there's a stigma attached to it, like it's not God that did it when those kind of things happen. Then there's a category of, it is so expensive to do. So obviously, anybody you see doing it has a lot of money, exposure and all of that. How can we make surrogacy a bit more affordable to those who really want to have a baby but don't have that huge amount of money to go through the process? Is there a way to legally do the conventional, traditional surrogacy?
I'll let you answer that question after this break.
Okay.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC Communications story.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current.
Thanks for staying with us. All right, so before the break, you had a question. Let me let you answer. Go ahead, please.
All right, so to your question, it's multifaceted, okay? So we're talking about people that are not able to afford. What options do we have for them? Okay, so if you compare surrogacy in Nigeria to the rest of the world, it's still peanuts. As I'm telling you, as expensive as it is, in Nigeria, it's still nothing compared to the rest of the world. And that's the reason why we have most of our clients come from diaspora.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
This is cheaper to do here.
Because it's cheaper to do it here. And you know, you start to wonder how much is too much to give someone
who's carrying your baby
for you.
But now, would you advise, if I'm someone in the lower class level and I hear of this and I'm thinking, I can't afford it, but I can get my sister or my cousin or my one neighbor's daughter to come and help me do it. Can I come to you and say, Auntie, I have somebody?
You can actually do that.
Okay.
You can actually do that. But you have to be sure that the person you're engaging is okay, mentally stable, in all ramifications. The person must have had children of their own. The person must not have a need of having another child.
Okay.
You know, these are the parameters that you actually consider when you're going through, you know, the process of screening. So you can get a family member that is not going to charge you much, but then they have to go through the screening process so that they can be determined to be eligible or not.
Okay, so there are some young girls now that I'm watching thinking, a way to raise some money, maybe for school, to travel abroad. Is there a particular age that you may think is too young to, you know, to be a surrogate? And then do you try and find out the reason why they're doing it? If it's just for money for them, do you think that would also make them eligible? Because this person may likely not have any emotional attachments to the child.
Correct. So yes, there is a particular age. You can't use school-age kids, university. I don't want to use children or age. You know,
yeah, so
group.
20, 21?
No,
okay.
Too young. Even as donors, yeah. Even as donors, too young.
Yeah,
so you have to have had a child at least or two.
Oh wow!
So you have to be, yes, that's a prerequisite.
I was going to ask, what about the patient herself? How do you get her attached to the baby? Because if you have someone who has a baby, someone carries, maybe she's been trying for years to have her own baby, and then she now agrees to a surrogate. Maybe the husband stresses her and says, okay, let's do it because you want the baby so much. She now has the baby, but she cannot find that attachment to the child.
Okay, so yes, we do have some patients like that, but you will identify that patient before you start the process. So
you already know.
Yes, and that patient would have to go through, you know, series of counseling and preparedness for this. She has to be ready. She has to be.
So this series of counseling and preparedness, how long does it take?
It can take 2 years. It depends on the individual.
Because, but you know, contrary to like I know 2 families in America that I've stayed with that they did surrogacy, and you would have no idea that these children were not biological. Like, there's such strong...
But they're biological.
There's even one was biological. Second one was the one I was saying the story that... the donor egg. It was donor egg. Yeah. Okay. It was just the son's husband's sperm. Yeah. But the bond, she wasn't lactating, but she was breastfeeding. The children are a bit grown up now.
99% of the time, they bond.
So that happens. So somebody who didn't carry the child can actually lactate?
Oh, yeah.
They give,
how does that work?
How does that happen?
You put baby to breast or you induce. It's hormones.
Yeah.
Right. That's good news.
Bond with the child. It's a good option. I think people should
finally, we have to wrap up on this, but thank you so much. But is there any final information or message you'd like to share with us so that people know that this is an option that is available? We know this can be expensive, but it can also be affordable for those who have people who are willing to be surrogates. And that are just final words on this matter.
Okay, final words is surrogacy is actually a good option when you're experiencing fertility challenges and you're not able to carry babies by yourself. And patients need to be open-minded about it and consider it as an alternative to achieving their goal of completing their families.
Sorry to pause you. I want you to talk to mothers, mother-in-laws, aunties, family members who don't understand it, and they don't give that support to this woman who is seeking for a surrogate to help her carry the children. That's her number one problem. Not that she's decided. Everybody around her is just... So help me educate them in a few seconds, like what it is.
Okay, to our mother-in-laws, our mothers, our sisters, our brothers, please understand that surrogacy is just another form of treatment to people going through fertility. Just another form of treatment. So, in other words, you have fertility challenges and you walk into the doctor's office and they're going to recommend certain medications to you. You're taking that medication to achieve the goal. So there are different options available. It's just an option. It's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean that the child belongs to the surrogate. No, the child belongs to the parents. And so it's really no big deal. Mothers, in-laws, sisters, brothers, pastors.
Yeah, they're like, because they don't want to give testimony in church, but they want to, they're so embarrassed about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's rather unfortunate that we don't want to talk about, and WHO has considered it a medical disease, fertility, so it's really no big deal. And if it's a disease, you have to treat it.
Yeah, sure. Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. We really learned quite a bit from you this morning. We're going to wrap up on this. When we come back, move on to another topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
When you think of fruit juice and all the goodness that comes in it, think Chivita. It is many years of trust, quality, and all the goodness of fruit poured into one lovely pack, specially made for you. And there is more to choose from. Whatever your preferences are, there is a Chivita for you. If you love an active life, or you just want to relax and unwind, if you are the cool dude, or simply want to try something refreshingly different, however you want it, there is a Chivita for you. Yes. Check out our new Chivita Smart Malt Drink. Energy to learn, energy to play. So, what's your Chivita?
Whoa, how hot is she? Very hot. Pick me. Just pick me, baby. Come pick me, girl. Man, I'm all ready for you.
So tasty.
He's so lucky.
Mini-Me, taste the fun.
Are you aware that your perfect family may be under threat by germs? Germs can cause infectious disease. These infectious diseases are amongst the biggest killers of adults and children. Illness-causing germs are everywhere. In unclean bathing water, on your clothes, dirty surfaces, on cuts and wounds. To protect your family from germs, use the power of Dettol's 1 capful. In your bathing water, for your laundry, for surface cleaning, for first aid, and to protect your family from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Be Dettol sure.
Ramadan, the 9th month in the Islamic calendar, is here again. This is a wonderful time to learn more about Islam and give to the cause of Allah. It's also a time when extra emphasis is on charity and good neighborliness. From the first day to the last day of Ramadan, join us on TVC from 3 to 6 a.m. every day for Ramadan Kareem. Recitation of verses in the Quran, tafsir by great Islamic scholars. Ask the Sheikh for clarity on Ramadan and Islam. What's more, you can learn and win great prizes on the Ramadan quiz segment, all spiced up with soul-stirring nasheed.
Asking for a sign from you, 'cause I'm so broke inside.
Ramadan Kareem on TVC from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. every day in Ramadan. To participate, call or visit our marketing department, TVC Communications Limited, 1 Continental Way, off CMD Road, Ikosi K2, Lagos. Telephone 0708 066 8003 or 0708 066 8004. You can also log on to www.tvccommunications.tv. Ramadan Kareem.
Being a TV host, I can tell you that being a parent is one of the biggest reality shows you will ever produce. Hi. Oh, yeah. As cute as they can be, even you need to take a break to take care of some of the other realities of life. And that's why the TVC Staff Crash was put together to help parents just like me get those professional childcare services that they need. Come on, let's go. Let's go. The TVC Staff Crash Baby Lounge team of professionals are here to help take a load off your mind. The TVC Staff Crash is a nursing mom support system, a toddler's safe haven, and a young learners academy throughout the year. It's comfortable, convenient, and with competitive pricing for the modern parent. So, while they learn through play, you can go about getting your pay. The TVC Staff Crash, open to the public from 7 a.m. till 6 p.m.
Thanks for staying with us. So women go through quite a bit in life. And last month we celebrated International Women's Month, where we talked various issues that women go through. Today we'll be addressing one. And it's the fact that when a woman is abused most of her life, especially as a child, how does she break through and break free from that hold, that mental hold with her abuser? And how does she be able to make something of her life? Our guest today is a success story of one of these experiences. She's the founder, MD, CEO of No Leftovers Scale Catering Outfit, Mrs. Ayodeji Magbope. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
And one of your most popular things is that you made the moment that Barack Obama ate.
Absolutely.
Yes, so I mean, that's something you're really proud of. Yeah, that recipe must be very, very, we'll come to that because we need to work our way up from how it started all the way to get to the point where you were at the White House. But share with us, growing up as a child, when you felt you were abused and it affected your life. Could you share that experience with us so that we can learn from these stories?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. Wow, so it all started when I didn't even know what was happening. I just knew something was happening. I just knew that there was a secret that I was compelled to keep, that I dared not share with anybody. But I knew that something was not right, and I had no control over it. And so I grew up, I think it started from around age 10. And so I grew up knowing that there was something that happened at some particular time of the night because this abuser was living with us as a family member. And as I grew up, got into secondary school, I began to understand that there was some violation going on. But, you know, I was so caged. And it was unbelievable how it affected my education, affected my social skills, affected my relationship even with my immediate family. And, you know, I tried so many times to speak out, but I was also such a troublesome child that it was difficult for anybody to believe me. The few attempts I made at, you know, talking to somebody was rebuffed. I was like, you, just keep quiet. And I remember there was a particular day, I mean, I was so intentional about, you know, saying everything. But my mom was like, just go do what I have told you to do. And because my abuser knew that I was going ahead of him, he ran ahead to my mom and said, see, she's so lazy. She's always lazy. She doesn't want to do anything I tell her to do. And my mom just gave me a dirty slap and said, wow, will you go? And that was the beginning of my trauma because, you know, just knowing that the people that should, or the person that should protect you was not understanding of what you were going through. I shut down in my academics. I didn't have any sense of worth, no sense of, you know, I just felt that I was just there, just barely surviving. And as I grew up, people would ask, what's your dream? What do you want to be in life? And I was like, anything. Yeah, because I just felt that, you know, I didn't have control of my life, you know, that anybody could just come and kick me around.
Right, interesting. So, I mean, abuse is, a lot of women are watching right now. Many of them have been through the experience and they're still struggling. You were able to find a way out. They haven't been able to break through. Would you give us an idea of that point? At what point did you say, I'm taking my life back?
So, you know, deciding to take your life back is one thing. Now, deciding to move on with your life where you can say, I'm really thriving, I've owned myself is another thing. So when I was able to confront my abuser and said to him, no more, you know, that was one point. But it was a journey because this is something that happened for years. And so it was now a journey for me to begin to own myself. I began to fail. I struggled to come out of the dark hole. The more I struggled, the more the failures compounded. And then I finished secondary school. I couldn't get into university. That made it even worse. Everybody I knew, you know. And then I was being compared. I mean, my mother had she had great friends who had brilliant children. And I was constantly being compared. My mother would go to their houses and then she'll come back. Have you heard that person's achievements? Have you heard? And I was just like so depressed. But then my life began to have meaning. I said, okay, no, let me do this. So I ended up studying secretarial administration. Wow. My father was so upset with me because all my siblings went through university, and sometimes he would mock me and say, "Hi, you're the only one with the typewriter on your head."
Okay, so maybe because of the show, I get a lot of messages from people who've gone through trauma, like life. They feel like life has happened to them, and they are unable to move on. You know, that's idea of moving on. Somebody was like, I don't know if I'll ever be successful. Like a message I got yesterday, I see you're so happy and successful. I don't know if I'll ever be successful. I was abused as a young child. And in my head, I'm like, where would I even start from? Because I had no idea what to say to this person. And if someone is watching and in that space, how can they shift from trauma to thriving through their life? What's the first place I know you say it's the mind, but like, what's the first thing they should do on that journey? Yeah,
the first thing you should do is whatever is available for you to do, whatever, even if it's not the high-flying achievements of others, whatever, if it is to sell bread, and I'm very, very serious about that, just intentionally put all of yourself into it. Because that's what I did. I put all myself into being a secretary. And it took me 40 years. My turnaround didn't come until I was 40. I'm talking about 15 years ago.
Wow.
And I'm like, I mean, I was a secretary for 20 years. Okay, I was happy that, okay, at least I'm working. I'm earning a salary.
How does being a secretary take you to Obama?
Long story, but I'll cut it short.
Yeah. For me, I just want to go back to, you know, I'm sorry what you had to go through. But you know, I would like you to tell us how you would have preferred for it to have been handled. Because we have young girls right now who are going through this and probably getting the same treatment you got while you were going through it. What sort of, how would you want a parent or an adult who has noticed that the child is a bit different or has some things or has voiced out something but maybe not, you know, not so not so, to the point, maybe they don't believe the person, but at least the person has voiced out something. How should that child be treated? How should it be handled to give that child confidence?
It's important to have conversations with your children right at tender ages. And that was what we lacked. I mean, that time when we were growing, parents were very, very far away from the children because of respect. Okay, but when you have a good relationship with your children and you're able to have conversations with them, you're able to come down to their level and really tell them that nobody told me nobody should touch my private parts. Nobody told me that my breast was mine. Nobody should touch it. I didn't know all of that. But thank God for today, we are having such conversations with our children. So if that had happened, I would not have been in that hole. And if I had the liberty to talk to my parents, you know, it wouldn't have happened.
They're alive?
Oh yes, they are.
And how do you?
Okay, so no, my mom is late. My dad is alive. But you know, my turnaround came when my mom was alive, and I can never forget her statement when she watched my video with Michelle Obama. She had tears in her eyes. And this, my precious mother that had always called me the black sheep of the family because of all, and I really was very, very troublesome. When I was pregnant with my first child, I remember praying, God, please, I don't want to have the type of child I was when I was young. So it was, I mean, but so, you know, I wouldn't blame her. Yeah, but that was how I mean, she didn't know any better. You know, we're enlightened now. We have a lot of information, parental tips and all of that. So we don't treat our children as such. But you know, so my mother, it was fulfilling to hear her say, Oluomo. And Oluomo in my language is the chief of the children. So from being a secretary for 20 years, I mean, when I was about turning 40, I looked at my life and I said, no. I should be able to do something better. But I heard voices in my head saying a fool at 40 is a fool forever. And I didn't have a university education. And that was something that caged me even more. I used to be very intimidated when my siblings would come around with their friends to talk about youth service and everything, and I had no story to tell.
Wow.
So, I just felt I couldn't go any further without a university education. But at 40, I just said to myself, I would not listen to that voice that says a fool at 40 is a fool forever. I would listen to that voice that says life begins at 40. So I didn't know what I was going to fall back on, but I just said, I was just going to die. There must be something. If God has kept me all these years, then there must be something better for me. And that was how I resigned. I was working, the last place of work was Corona School, Ikoyi. I worked there as a secretary, and I resigned. I wanted to start a daycare center. That did not work. And then I sat back at home, started taking home lessons. And then one day we were so broke in the family. I cried to my husband, no food for anybody to eat. My husband gave me 1,000 naira. I looked at the 1,000 naira with tears in my eyes. But that day I made moi moi. And that was the turnaround.
Wow.
My sister-in-law paid us a visit, tasted the moi moi, loved it, asked how much I made it with. I told her 1,000 naira. She gave me the 1,000 naira. I made it for her the next day. She took home to her family. Her friend paid her a visit, tasted the moi moi, and said, "Oh my God, Funto, I love this moi moi. Can you give me more?" And she said, "No, I'm not giving you more. If you want moi moi, I have somebody who can make it for you. Bring 1,000 naira. She will make it for you." And I made it for my sister-in-law's friend. When she called me to say, somebody has just given me 1,000 naira to give you. You know, when she told me to make more money for her, I had kept some back. I quickly ran downstairs to my neighbor. I said, I have more money for you, just taste it. And she ate it. And then she came running upstairs and said to me, please, where did you buy it from? I said, no, I made it. I said, give me 1,000 naira and I'll make for you. She gave me 1,000 naira. So I made mine worth 2,000 naira the next day. And from that point, I said, okay, there must be something about this moi moi. I took it to church. And at that time in that church, in that church, my husband was a pastor. And so when I remember the first time my husband said, go and say hello to everybody, tell everybody that around you that they are blessed and they are highly favored. Anybody that came to me, you are blessed and highly favored. I have moi moi. You're blessed and highly favored. When the children come to me and they say, oh, pastor's wife, I said, tell your mother, pastor's wife has moi moi. That was how it started, family and friends, until I began to ask again, God, what next? That was the question. Because when I saw that 1,000 naira turned to 50,000 naira over time, I said there must be something about this moment. And then I prayed and God said, take it back to Corona School, stand at the gate. And I was like, Satan, the blood of Jesus is against you. I was just so convinced that God cannot, I mean, I told everybody in Corona I was going to open the school. And so here I was now going back to sell moi moi. But then I just said, looked back and saw how far I had come. And I said to myself, I'll do this. And so I went to the gates of Corona Corona, stood at the gates and began to shout, my for sale, my for sale, buy this, my, your life will not remain the same again. And you could see different reactions, but hell no.
That's Corona Ikoyo.
Yes. I didn't care. And people began to buy. So they bought for different reasons too. Some bought because they were curious. Some bought because they were sorry for me.
Yes.
But I learned that it doesn't matter why anybody is buying. As long as you make them buy, that's what matters most. And that was how the whole turnaround started. At that same gate, I met a woman who asked if I could if I knew how to make other meals. And I said yes. I started making other meals. And then another woman came, gave me the opportunity to start feeding her staff in her office. 100 staff. That was what took me off the gates of Corona.
Wow.
And as I continued to thrive, I kept asking the question, what next? And then I said, I want to go back to school. I don't have a university degree. And I saw on the pages of a newspaper, Goldman Sachs was coming into Nigeria to invest in women who were in business but did not have business skills. And they were doing it in conjunction with the Lagos Business School under the Enterprise for Development Center. Yeah. And I applied. And I was admitted for the program. It was a scholarship program. And when we finished the 6 months of training, the Americans came to Nigeria and wanted to meet the ladies. And they heard my story.
Oh, my God.
They heard my story and they were like, we want to come to your office. And I said, I don't have an office. I don't have an office. But then they came to my house and they saw me wrapping my moi moi. They saw the little space I had. They saw the zeal. They saw how I was hungry for the next level. They saw the support of my family. And they said, we would like you to come to America to tell your story.
Wow.
That was it. I was invited for their annual general meeting. When I got there, I was schooled. Me, that I didn't go to university, they took me through different press sessions. This is how you behave in front of the camera. This is how you talk. Yes, you do well, you speak nicely, but you know, your pronunciations here and there. They crossed my T's for me and dotted my I's. And you know, I was really, my self-esteem was like...
pumped up.
And there I was in front of the audience, speaking at the annual general meeting. And the meeting ended and there was a line, everybody was waiting to shake me. I came back to Nigeria, kept building the business. And then I got another letter. President Bill Clinton would like you to speak at his program.
Eh?
What happened? Goldman Sachs is in partnership with the Clinton Global Initiative. Right. And Clinton says, I need a woman who started from nowhere, who can speak to my investors and convince them that women are worth investing in. Do you know of any woman? And they said, we know of this moi woman in Lagos, Nigeria. That was how I packed my bags again and I went.
See, I've got goosebumps.
And I came back and I got another letter. This time from the Prime Minister in Turkey, saying the Entrepreneurship Summit is holding. I mean,
when next Global South
God has been amazing. Like I said, it's been 15 years from starting from 40.
Oh my Lord!
With 1,000 naira.
With 1,000 naira. I just came back from India. I'm the president of the association.
On this matter?
On this moi matter. No leftover.
No, Auntie, I'm cooking this by myself.
Don't worry, you're having it for lunch.
I must test this moi. Like facts. Let's go on a break. I think Doctor, I don't think. Dr. Margaret, are you there? Dr. Margaret, are you there? Oh, I'm so sorry. You couldn't. Let's go on a break. We'll be right back.
Yes, let's just digest this.
Stay tuned.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy eSplash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still talking about this profound story of how starting a business with 1,000 naira got you to the White House. YK, you're going to...
Yeah, sorry, I'm going to take you back. I mean, your story is very inspirational, and I love it. And a lot of people on YouTube are just hailing you and saying, you know, that one says you are a true motivational speaker. Best we've had on the show, according to Corey Michael.
Oh, wow.
But the abuse story is... Did the guy ever get caught or punished? Did your mother ever realize that your acting out was due to the abuse?
Okay, thank you. So, for a long time, even after I was able to say no, I didn't say anything to anybody. There was no point. I was afraid at some point. There were some issues that happened and that were not connected to the rape and all of that, or to the abuse and all of that. And I kept hearing, now, be careful, don't drag the family name into the mud and all of that. So I was very conscious of that, kept everything to myself. I didn't speak out until after I got married. And by that time, you see, one thing for me, and I keep telling people, is that waiting for your abuser, it's good if the abuser is apologetic or is made to call to make account or to take responsibility for what he does. But what if he doesn't? What if you don't even see him? You know, because at some points in my life, I didn't even see him. I had to deal with all those issues. I had to deliberately, number one, I had to start by forgiving myself. Because, I mean, we're three girls, sorry. Why me? So at a point, I was feeling guilty. That there must have been something I did as a child that made him pick me out as, you know, as the one to abuse. So I had to forgive myself. And without even him being the radar, I had to forgive him. I had to let go of my past. Because for as long at some point, I remember having a conversation with somebody, even before I got to that point. I said, no, I cannot forgive. I cannot forgive. No, he has to be held accountable for what he did. But then the person said to me, so where is he? Because at that point, I didn't even know where he was. And so I had to deal with that. Wait, this is your life. Your life is at a standstill. And guess what happened? One day, I was at a function, and my profile was red. I didn't even know he was there. And then I came up, and I made my presentation, and as I came down, there he was walking towards me. And he said, oh, I'm sorry. But I had pity for him. It no longer, I just said to him, you know what? That person you abused is long dead. What am I saying? I am not saying people should not be held accountable. At the end of the day, if they're held accountable, if you don't deal with yourself, that person can be thrown behind bars. But then, what's going to happen to you?
Dealing with your trauma.
Let me take this call and I'll come to you.
So that's why, you know, I'm so grateful to God that I could, you know, thrive and keep moving with my life.
Regardless of him. Let me take this call from Olagoke. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show, sir.
This is the best interview I've ever watched on your program.
Oh, wow.
And as I'm watching it, I am encouraged. And I pray that all of us will have the touch of God, the way this woman has had it in Jesus' name.
Amen.
All of us, I am encouraged. And please give us more of this interview.
Yes, thank you so much.
I want to have, if this woman has a book, I want to buy.
She does, actually.
I want to buy. The interview is very encouraging.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. People would like to have a book. You have a book?
Yes. So I have a book titled Lifted at the Gate. Because my lifting really started at the gate of Corona. Each time I look back, I'm saying, God, thank you. I obeyed. Because what if I hadn't gone to Corona?
What if you were proud and felt this is shameful?
Yeah.
And then from the Goldman Sachs, I went on for my master's degree with the Manchester business.
Whoa.
And, you know, even that, you know, being able to take advantage of opportunities. For example, I mean, right now, I thank God, I convene different, you know, programs. Like we're having a program right now on Saturday the 9th. It's the What Next conference. And, you know, the thing is, you don't just, you're not just comfortable because you have overcome a particular challenge, because life is full of challenges.
Yes.
I mean, with this story, does it mean I don't have challenges? No. There's always something. And so you will always get to that bus stop where you're asking yourself, is this all? Yeah. Okay, so I was able to overcome this at 40. Okay, when I turned 52, I still had those questions. I was like, God, I'm 50. I'm 50. What's going to happen?
You're not 50 now.
Oh, I'm 54.
What? You don't look a day after 30.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, hey, tonight I'm like 60 is almost here. God. What next? So that's
what
why
I love about your story. You know, in Nigeria especially, we talk about the fact that we have a huge young population. So you hear a lot of stories for youth empowerment, encouraging youths to be engaged. But the truth is there are also so many youths who have grown older and never had that motivation, that story to help them. And they found themselves at 40, at 50, and they're thinking, this is it for me. But your story is talking to that group of people and saying that there's still time to live your dreams.
Absolutely.
You know what I like about the story? You see, I don't like to start from the 1,000 naira. I like to start from the fact that you found the job of a secretary, which wasn't a big deal.
And you were consistent.
You stayed on it.
Absolutely.
You weren't. You didn't say, oh, because everybody else is doing something else. You stayed there, and it was by staying there for so many years, eventually asking for that what next. You were able to have the opportunity to go back to Corona School, which is where you're a secretary at.
Yeah.
Right? So you were doing your diligent at that work.
Yeah.
And with that place you're diligent at, that God still used to give you that that good experience that you had.
Yeah, and you know what? All of these journeys that we go through, at every point, people we meet will become relevant even as we climb the ladder. So, I mean, being a secretary was not a waste. I mean, there were things I learned that I still apply now. There are people that I met then that have become very, very relevant. They've been
because you meet everybody when you're the secretary.
Yes, and you know, how you treat people along the way, you know, also matters. So, you know, I'm grateful to God that's why I tell people, and let me go back to the Thrive conference, the What Next conference happening this Saturday. We're having a gathering of women, and we're having women who have gone through different seasons of their lives come talk to us, how they've been able to overcome the different challenges they've encountered. I'm going to be speaking also, you know, because you find out that at different seasons, you go through different things, and how have you been able to come out of them? We need to keep talking. Now, you talk about the young people. I keep saying to people, regardless of how old you are, the day your morning starts is the day you realize that, hey, wow, I can actually do something.
You can start at 60 for some.
You can.
Let me take this call from Farouk. Farouk has been holding. Good morning, Farouk. Are you there? You're live. Are you watching TV? Farouk, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good. My name is Farouk. I'm calling from Kaduna. I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
I'm glad to be part of this program. I always watch your programs. Very exciting and enlightening. I must be honest with you. The guest you are having at the studio right now, honestly, the moment she begins to talk, I kind of reflect my life. My life also is a replica, although the part of the abuse was not there. I actually had my life listed at the age of 36, 37. I don't know if there will be a way. Anyway, I'm a chartered accountant from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. I'm an FCA. I don't know if there will be a way to link with this lady. We need people like this to use as a role model to speak to our youth, our teen youth these days. You just discovered that the way our youth are going to social vices is just so astronomical. So we need people like this from time to time to be at the forefront, to be at the vanguard of speaking to our youth at seminars, at workshops, at schools, at maybe church.
Thank you so much, Farouk. I mean, that's very, very profound. Let's go.
Okay. Okay, so...
See, you had a question?
No, I have to say something. The atmosphere now in Nigeria is, there's this atmosphere of materialism. Our success is defined by how much money we have and how much money we can spend and spray and how much it is of it we can wear. And yet, with all of your success, I see, modesty. What is success exactly to you? What is it that in all that you have achieved that really in your heart is what makes you happy, content, and you can say, yes, I'm a success?
Yeah. Thank you. Somebody asked me a similar question, but this is the way the person asked, can you have it all?
Okay.
And I said, you can have it all as long as you can define what is your all.
What is all? That's
now,
really
here I am at this level. What is my focus? I can be looking at somebody who is able to travel every month and say, I don't have it all. I can't travel every month. I still have to do budgeting, okay? So your definition of all and your sincerity to your needs, because it's not everything that you want that you actually need. So what is it that you actually need to move from where you are to where you ought to be? So I have 2 children. I've been married for 29 years. And at some point in their lives, they needed me wholeheartedly. I needed to be there for them. Right now, they don't need me. And so I'm able to define how I order my life. So it's important to be real with yourself. And that's what we're talking about on Saturday at the Divine Event Center, Obanikoro, Lagos. We're talking about how to be real. For as long as you're chasing materials, you will be chasing shadows. I keep saying something to myself. Sometimes you go shopping. Maybe you have $1,000, and then you've budgeted it. You've made a budget that I only want to spend $700, and there's this pair of shoes, $950. You have $1,000, so it's okay. You can actually buy it, but
everything else,
you're going to ask yourself, please do. Good things end in the market. They finish in the market. No, I keep telling myself, when I go shop, they will be there. And there will be better things. So why not wait? I like what the Englishman says. The Englishman says, the patient dog. Although people are contending against that.
So it doesn't.
But yes,
in Nigeria that we
contend.
Because in Nigeria, they say the patient dog.
It's nothing. That's not true.
Let me take this call from Amao. Amao, are you there? From Aja?
I'm here.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
All right. I mean, the last 15 minutes has been the best training I've had for a very long time. I'm here listening with my children. I'm like 103 years old. You know what I mean? I will employ the woman to encourage our young people. I mean, we need people like this to talk to people. You don't have to go to Harvard to get some of these things, down into these kids. I mean, my kids are just so inspired right now. Finally, one of them is finally.
The kids are so inspired.
I'm just excited. Even me, I've learned so much from her. Well done, madam.
Thank you so much, Mr. Maofok. Yes, you're going to ask her. Okay. Go ahead, Waiki.
Yes, Bilikis says your guest is courageous. It takes a great deal of courage to reach a point of acceptance and forgiveness. Andrew Stratham says, the woman is an inspiration. This woman is an inspiration. It's very moving. I love her. I love calling her the Moi Moi lady. There should be a film about her.
Yeah.
True, there should be.
There should be. Thank you.
You've done this conference a few times, and I always tell people to attend because there's nothing that can inspire you like listening over and over again. I see people complain about their life or spend their weekends at parties when you can invest that weekend into... No, it's not a diss. Mariah's works all through the week, so she deserves to party on weekends. But some people know that that weekend is it should be an investment into self.
Yeah.
And so I'm happy about the conference. Can you tell us a bit more about... because I know people are watching and they want tools, and some of them are watching in a way that they cannot come for the conference this weekend. They are not in Lagos, but they want tools. They are listening to you and thinking, is this ever going to happen to me?
Yeah.
And if somebody is thinking like that, what should the person start thinking rather?
Yeah, thank you. So I'm going to start by saying it's the What Next conference that is powered by the Grace Ladies International Business Fellowship. So go on Instagram at Grace Ladies International. You see all the details there, and it's at the Divine Event Center, Obanikoro. You just register. When you register, if you can't even come physically, you can join online, but you must register. And so one of the things that we emphasize on is please be yourself. Be your authentic self. Don't compete. Don't feel you're in competition with anybody. Okay. And you know, a lot of times we say these things, we don't really mean it. You know, look at life and see that there's nothing you can do by your power that can change some things. So why don't you just align with whatever God has provided for you and make the best of it? And one of the things I also say is that, why do we listen to people? We're going to be having amazing women like Jo Audrey Ezigbo. We're having Dayo Benjamin Lani. We're having Just Imo. They're going to be talking to us about their journeys. You have to listen to people if you want to get to where they are. What you do not love, what you despise, you can never attract. And that was one of the things that delivered me. You know, there was a time that I would look at people who were doing well, some of my friends who were doing very well, and I'll be very envious, very jealous. And I'm like, it's because you've had the best of opportunities in life, that's why you are like this. But I realized that for as long as I despised them, I could never get there. And we also encourage that, have a strong support system. I must acknowledge my husband, by the way. I mean, before we got married, I told him about the abuse.
And he still went.
And I was afraid. I mean, I was so scared to tell him. And he said to me, Ayo, that's not you. That person is gone. This is the new you. So I must acknowledge his support. But there's women who say, but I don't have my husband's support. And we say to them, build a support system. You can get support in your sisters. Don't belong to people who say women don't encourage women. Yes, we know in some quarters, but look for, we have a lot of women encouraging women now. So look for a company, look for a tribe that you can be true to, a tribe that you know will inspire you, will not put you under pressure. That's one thing. Some people are not even put under pressure, they pressurize themselves. Yes. And so that's why you start from having a very, very healthy self-image of yourself. I love what you guys are wearing. It doesn't diminish me in any way. So you have to get to that point that you're loving people, you're appreciating the differences, you know, amongst you, and then you're very comfortable in your skin.
I absolutely love this. I love this because, you know, I don't find a lot of people that talk like you. One of my frustrations in life is that when I see a lot of plastic conversations out there. I go to a lot of events and conferences. I'm there just because
you have to be there.
But I'm not getting it. I'm not connecting because conversation is just not it. No. But it's when I see people that are real and true and just real, it's just totally refreshing. Let me take this call from Jared. Jared, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
I have tested the Moi Moi.
Hey!
The Moi Moi is great. I actually stay or live not too far from one of our outlets. It's somewhat very close to Corona. And I think what is most significant in all of this, you know, I actually, as in, like, I know I visited the outlet regularly, and she exudes so much. she's very, very humble. And getting to hear her story today, I think like I really, just hearing to hear her story, I think I kind of relate to the person that I see. Because just seeing her, you would know that she's from such, background. She's been exposed to all of these, all of the things that she has shared today. I think what is striking, all of the things that she has said, which I want to believe, inspired me, inspired me a lot, was the fact that she went back to Corona, where she used to be a secretary. Screaming, "Moi day here," or "Moi day here," the people, the girls, the youth of now, us, so to say, going back, for us, and I rep my right, protect my rep. I know if you go back, protect my rep. So I think this serves as, a huge inspiration to a lot of people.
Thank you so much, Gerald. Thank you so much.
Mariah.
I think, sorry, I was just going to say, I think what people see in you, from the callers and from what I'm reading, is kindness. You're not just a successful person or a success story. You're a kind person. So that is what draws people to you.
And, that's good. That's where I was going at, with also what Mariah said. So now, some of the values that growing up, I thought were values. I see that people have thrown them away or are diminished. And then if you try to imbibe those values, you're termed, you're not smart enough, you're not ambitious, you're not, out there. That's why you would rather choose kindness or be patient and things like that. So really, you epitomize like all these values and yet you're successful. And I just feel that children, younger ones that we tell about these values can see what it means in a person. So thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Our last caller talked about outlets. You have outlets?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes,
So you sell
yes.
So you're still selling?
We've grown beyond.
Tell me about that.
Yeah. So, so I remember, so we from my house moved to a location and then to another location. And then we got to a point where I just felt we need to expand this thing. And I went to my bank because I was doing well. I mean, I'd followed all the business training, had a business account and all of that. And I said, I need a loan. I need to expand my business. And they said, okay, if you have 70%, we'll give you 30. And I'm like, hello, if I had 70%, I won't be here. But guess what happened? I got a call. I got a call from the US, from EDC. The Goldman Sachs had gotten in touch with them. And they said, okay, so it's International Women's Day. The White House is looking for 2 women. One who's been able to access a loan, and one that the banks have said no to.
Oh my God! Oh my Lord!
So God was just looking for everyone.
That was what took me to the White House. Not by power, not by might.
So the rejection self was a blessing.
I'm telling you. Yeah.
So the mail was just like, I was rejected.
That was it. And I was like so sad. I was like, my goodness, so what am I going to do? And they just said, I said, this is what my banks told me. He said, okay, Ayo, we want you in the White House.
Hey, God of Jesus.
Jehovah.
Absolutely. So that's how Obama ate your
money. That was not how Obama ate my money, but that was the first trip to the White House.
Oh, so you've gone to White House president?
So, calm down. So now I got another letter. After that, I got another letter. Now it was the United States of Women's Conference in America. United States of Women all over the world. And again, they were looking for a woman that would represent Africa, raised from grass and all of that. And they called me.
The authentic.
I was there. Over 5,000 women in the hall. Wow. I was seated. I mean, Michelle Obama was there and all of that. And then we had a dinner for her. And before I left, they had said to me, we'd like to serve moi moi at dinner. I'm like, really? I said, yes. So show us your processes, send us your recipe and all of that. And I did. I said, can I bring leaves from Nigeria? I said, no, you can't do that. We'll do it. So we arranged on how to do the moi moi, how to prepare the moi moi. And moi moi was served at dinner. And guess who was the guest of the day? Michelle Obama. Before I left Nigeria, my husband was taking me to the airport, and I just said, wait, my children were there. I said, please, can we kneel down? Of course, my son was like, she has come with a drama again. I said, please, can we just hold hands? Pray with me that I want to meet Michelle Obama. Whoa. And we prayed. And when I got that information, so when I got there, they said, Michelle Obama is going to be there. And guess what? We want to give you the honor of introducing Michelle Obama. I died. And there I was in the green room with my tray of moi moi in America. Hey, you know, there's something I love. There's something I say when I got in touch with that word. I rise and shine. It's in Isaiah chapter. I know this is not a church setting. Isaiah chapter 60. I rise and shine. I've confessed it this morning. Isaiah chapter 60, 1 to 22. 1 to 22. When I confess it every day. Amen. I arise and shine, my light is come, the glory of God is risen upon me. Darkness covers it. Oh, yes, I confess it every day. Gentiles come to my light, kings to the brightness of my rising. When I stood in that green room with my mama in my hand, waiting for Michelle Obama, I said, I arise and shine. And there came Michelle Obama saying, Ayo, I'm like, mention your name. Ayo, you are an inspiration. Oh my God. Michelle, she said yes. She hugged me. Oh, and then she took the moi moi and ate it. Wow. I mean, so when I remember such experiences, I'm like, God, what is there to not? And please, may I tell you, I wasn't a nice person. I actually wasn't nice. When I was in deep pain, angry, envious, and jealous, I knew that there was no way I could rise with that attitude, with those attitudes in me. I began to pray, say, God, please help me to be kind. You know what? Galatians chapter 5, verse 22, help me to be fruit of the Spirit, love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Those 9. Yes. I always pray them, help me to be kind, help me to be loving, help me not to think myself more highly than I ought to. There be more better people that are better than me, not more knowledgeable than me that have died. So what are we talking about? You know, so all of this, they keep humbling me.
And we're out of time.
And this is where we
No, we're not.
Yes, we are. We're out of time.
Please, permit me to sing this song. Omagba letter yo. Omagba letter yo. I will receive letter of joy because these letters you'll be getting from myself, everybody. But honestly, I think I joined the rest of our viewers and the ladies of the
Thank you.
Well done. Congratulations. We love the story from that how small you started all the way to how the opportunities came and how you stayed grounded in all of this. Thank you so much for being an inspiration.
Thank you.
I would love to attend that wedding, and that's this weekend. I hope many people too also attend, so that we can learn from other women like you. And I'm so excited that the names you mentioned, I don't know those names.
Yes,
I like that. I like the fact that these are people that I would love to know. Because we used to the usual suspects, but when we hear new names, I'm like, you know what, I gotta know what this person is doing. So that's fantastic. Thank you so much for being on our show. And it was a pleasure having you.
Thank you for having me.
That's all we can take. Mike, you want to see anything final?
No, I'm just, your story has overwhelmed me. I'm happy for you, and God bless you.
Amen. Thank you very much.
The Creator bless you.
Okay. All right, that's all we can take. Have a fabulous day. There's one brewing hot topic on social media. I can't wait. I won't tell you about it. Tomorrow, I'll see you. See ya later. Have a great day. Bye.
Ramadan, the 9th month of Islam, and give to the cause of Allah. It's also a time when extra emphasis is on charity and good neighborliness. From the first day to the last day of Ramadan, join us on TVC from 3 to 6 a.m. every day for Ramadan Kareem. Recitation of verses in the Quran, tafsir by great Islamic scholars. Ask the Sheikh for clarity on Ramadan and Islam. What's more, you can learn and win great prizes on the Ramadan quiz segment, all spiced up with soul-stirring nasheed.
Asking for a sign from you, 'cause I'm so broke inside.
Ramadan Kareem on TVC from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. every day in Ramadan. To participate, call or visit our marketing department, TVC Communications Limited, 1 Continental Way, off CMD Road, Ikosi K2, Lagos. Telephone 0708 066 8003 or 0708 066-8004. You can also log on to www.tvccommunications.tv. Ramadan Kareem.
Being a TV host, I can tell you that being a parent is one of the biggest reality shows you will ever produce. Hi. Oh, yeah. As cute as they can be, even you need to take a break to take care of some of the other realities of life. And that's why the TVC Staff Crash was put together to help parents just like me get those professional childcare services that they need. Come on, let's go. Let's go. The TVC Staff Crash Baby Lounge team of professionals are here to help take a load off your mind. The TVC Staff Crash is a nursing mom support system, a toddler's safe haven, and a young learner's academy throughout the year. It's comfortable, convenient, and with competitive pricing for the modern parent. So, while they learn through play, you can go about getting your pay. The TVC Staff Crash, open to the public from 7 a.m. till 6 p.m.
When I wake up in the morning, I'll be thinking about the things I didn't feel or didn't say or didn't do. Before I sleep at night, I'll be wishing I did more today before it became dark and drifting away. Hey, but tomorrow's another chance to do more on my game and clearly make a point and take someone on a date. Tomorrow I'll be a better player, even in my lane. I'll make history today and I'll be a better candidate. Lójoojúmọ́, ọ̀la la máa ń parọ́ mọ́ tó bá tún ti dọ̀la. Ọ̀la la tún máa fi dìbò because we know tomorrow.
Tabari ẹnikẹ́ni yálà obìnrin ni ọkùnrin ni kó nawọ́ ẹ̀ sókè báyìí o. Ó dèjì. Tabari ẹnikẹ́ni ọkùnrin ni obìnrin ni ọmọdé ni àgbà ni níbi bí lọ́jọ́ òní tó fẹ́ jẹ́ kí nǹkan tá à ń ṣe yìí kó wá sí ìmúṣẹ kó nawọ́ sókè. Níwọ̀n ìgbà tí ò ti wá sí kó jẹ́ra mọ́nítọ̀hún nínú títí ayé àìní.
Àmín.
Níwọ̀n ìgbà tí ò ti wá sí ẹni tó nawọ́ sókè láìpẹ́ láì jìnnà a máa tún wá bá wọn kó mọ́ o.
Àmín. Ẹ bá mi ṣàmì.
Àmín o. Ṣé wá rí o, mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ fi ọkàn yín balẹ̀ kẹ́ ẹ fẹ̀yìntì. Ẹ fẹ̀yìntì ẹ jókòó dáadáa kẹ́ ẹ relax. Ẹ jókòó bí olówó, jíjẹ, mímu, rírun, omi ìjọra, omi ajégúnlẹ̀, omi jákàndé, orú omi wo lẹ fẹ́, oúnjẹ oríṣiríṣi tẹ́ bá fẹ́ ẹ̀yẹn kò sóúnjẹ tẹ́ fẹ́ ni. Ó wà tẹ́ máa jẹ tẹ́ máa yó. Jíjẹ mímu rírun mímì. Kékèwé tẹ́ máa tún tì báyìí tẹ́ máa tún tì lọ lé ni. Ẹ fọkàn yín balẹ̀. Ẹ fọkàn yín balẹ̀. A máa wá pe àwọn ìyá ọkọ wa báyìí kó fún wa lórin. Oyege táyé lólú oyege ó ti yege.
Oyege táyé lólú oyege.
Ọdún rí ọlọ́mọge ó ti gbé oníyàwó. Táyé lólú oyege ó ti yege. Oyege táyé lólú oyege. Oyege táyé lólú oyege. Má jẹ́ kí n parọ́ fún ẹ torí ó kárí lọ síbẹ̀ yẹn sìn òun sunkún. Níwo tèmi àti ẹ ti jọ plan nǹkan a ti jọ agree pé tá a bá dé venue yẹn ó ní nǹkan tá a máa ṣe àwa débẹ̀ tán ó di time tó yẹ kó ṣe nǹkan tó yẹ kó ṣe ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ṣe báṣubàṣu. ó kò ń sọ̀rọ̀ ni ó kò ń sọ̀rọ̀ látàrọ̀ pé mò ń ṣe báṣubàṣu. ṣé o expect kí n débẹ̀ kí n lọ lọ́wọ́ sókè kí wọ́n wá sí wọn pọ̀ ni? ṣé possible ni? ṣé kí iṣẹ́ mi làwọn èèyàn máa rí bí èèyàn burúkú ni? wọ́n ti gbàgbé pé ó ti ṣe nǹkan tó dá fẹ́mi sẹ́yìn. Who cares? Who cares about what anybody thinks on now? Ṣé o mọ̀ pé ọ̀rọ̀ ayé là ń sọ yìí? Ó dà pé o ti understand nǹkan tí mò ń sọ. Èèyàn mú ẹ,